Well, a week from Saturday on the 19th, the Historic Hawaii Foundation will present the Kama'aina of the Year Award to a longtime attorney.
Kathy Muneno caught up with Patrice, or Bidi Kanahele Dawson, on her 90th birthday in Kupuna Life.
When my mother said, "Beatrice," I knew I was in trouble. So it's not a name that I use with a great deal of pleasure.
And so she's Bidi, has been since she was a kid when she picked up a fierce green thumb from her mom, growing up in Nu'uanu, where she still lives.
When they told me I couldn't grow roses in Nu'uanu, that's all the incentive I needed. Watch me, I'm going to do it.
That's Bidi, fierce, period. You learn a lot about her on a stroll through her garden.
I do like orderliness in my planting. I like it informal, but I like it orderly as well. I think I was a yard man in my previous life. I really do.
But lucky for many, she wasn't. She chose attorney.
This is my kukui tree that was planted by some of the Kamehameha alums that I worked with when we were in the middle of
Oh, yes.
incredible controversies.
That was more than 20 years ago when this kukui tree was 10 inches tall, and when Bidi joined students, parents, and alumni of Kamehameha schools in a march, calling for then trustees to be held accountable. Bidi ended up working pro bono, helping them incorporate the nonprofit Napua Keali'i Pawahi, and represented it, leading to a fight that led to the broken trust, a turnover of trustees, and major change.
My parents were always helping people that needed help or that were in trouble. That is second nature to me. And my life has been led that way, whether I'm with a group that is helping a certain area of the community or another group that is dealing with problems. That's where I am.
In 1965, Bidi saw a termite-infested Iolani Palace in deep need of care. She initiated its restoration, drumming up support from the Junior League and others, becoming a founding member of the Friends of Iolani Palace, one of more than 100 boards and groups she served on and helped.
I've been so blessed, Kathy. I've had so many opportunities that have been given to me, and I've been blessed by the ability to answer those opportunities, to look at them, not let them pass by silently or without any response.
My grandma and my mom, by extension, so warm and open and inviting. Always, people were in trouble, you never said no. People needed something, you never turned your back.
What one might call Hawaiian values. This mother of four imparts them on her children in her work in her role as president of her family's nonprofit, Hawaiian Native Corporation, and still as a member of many organizations like the U.S. Institute of Environmental Conflict Resolution.
That's the beauty that we have in our culture. It's not just for us. Part of our job is to share it and to tell people about it, and to let them learn about it. And we're doing it, Kathy. We are doing it right now. We're in the process of growing our love, of sharing our love, and showing people kapu aloha.
And so, no, her work is not done.
I don't feel that retirement is a very attractive word. I love being involved.
While also finding recreation, respite, peace, joy in her garden.
Agapanthus has beautiful leaves, and then once a year it comes up with a purple stalk, and it's so gorgeous, so gorgeous.
And as the rain begins to fall on her favorite rose.
Oh, God, I'm so thrilled with my St. Patrick. Thank you, St. Patrick.
You see her glass is not half full.
Look at those mountains now, almost melting into the background because of the mist in front of it.
It's overflowing. For Kupuna Life, Kathy Muneno, KHON2 News.